Buonasera, edizione speciale del nostro lunedì sportivo perché è qui con noi la calciatrice scozzese, cioè in Inghilterra, in Scozia, in Gran Bretagna in genere, la donna calciatrice non è nessuno?
No, infatti non è nessuno.
Ma si è vista intanto un bellissimo tiro e poi riprende la Reilly e raddoppia, gol di Rose Reilly
It's not a question about football coming first. It's like saying your life comes first. It was my way of life.
Scatta Rose Reilly.
There's never been anybody like Rose Reilly in football, and I'm talking about the men's game as well.
I remember dreaming about going abroad to being a professional footballer.
A huilige de bhí málagus an dúis a chluiche bal cosise bear in thuúil, choshing Rose Reilly was Stuarton and the Shirachgar, luúach chichtlas cúchpa sin yedalt.
Italian football was the top saying, and really I thought it died and went to heaven.
Na mis gan dúis a smú i vile, cúchpa na crinne, called the skip and nashant in a hitalt.
I mean, I hadn't even ate spaghetti hoops before I went there, never mind the real spaghetti.
Ha segnato Rose Reilly.
I should have been playing for Scotland, my home country. But hey, they didn't want me. Don't you dare better yourself, hen, I will ban you. It was just like being back at school. I didn't realise how much I was going to miss my family. Obviously, my mum and dad. This hepatitis had taken over my body. But I was so weak, I was very weak. I couldn't stand up. That's your football career over. That's when I was nominated the world's best female football, and I thought, wow, not bad for a wee lassie for Stuart.
I'm really proud of you. It's pretty amazing what you've done.
Oh, darling.
Another harsh here, Bripig Bow, the Rose and Dochus, can Rachagachke, Shinigianos and Alapa.
What skills did I bring? I just brought myself. I just brought myself as a footballer in the will to win. I can say that, and the passion. I don't think anybody, now looking back in hindsight, I don't think anybody had the passion that I had.
Do you honestly think it's a game to be played by ladies?
Yes, I don't see no reason why it shouldn't be.
Yeah, but it's not exactly the most gentle sport that you could play.
No, I wouldn't say hockey is either. After all, they've got sticks and we've nothing.
Chlich Rose Reilly hiet Yemachus and Alapa and a nuke hiet Giag Shachka Tsiga, a nui sassing. Hij een game of de doi le chege njonje Benjamela and the ball kosher nog na Halapa genaam Elsie Cook.
A place in the England team and a cap for their country. That's what they're all after.
As Stuart Giachanen hij scoorde Hurgus aan een game. We gaan session trainen met jedig aan de Grienig voor een roin game geweer de chluche. Ach en de hoogste plannetje schuurlach gaan breine gele beter de Elsie lift ein wo van Arnish aan de Glasgow.
And he started killing us a laugh, and he says, jump in, opened the back doors, and the first Scottish women's team travelled to Greenock for a last training session in the back of a furniture van. And we giggled all the way there. They were sitting in couches and, you know, the old-fashioned standard lamps with the great big lampshades, sitting with them, and it was just a riot.
I remember getting picked for Scotland, the first Scotland match.
Playing for your country, you can't be any prouder than that.
It was great. It was just, and everybody was so excited to go out and thinking this is the biggest game of our life. You know, and the cameras, my television cameras were going to be there, and I thought, oh my goodness.
I didn't know till we were walking on the park that they actually named me as captain. There's no bigger honour than being captain, your Scotland.
It was freezing. It was absolutely freezing, it's snowing at the ground.
And after maybe half an hour, Scotland were up 2-0. A wee fly, cheeky goal for Mary Carr.
I remember scoring a goal direct for the corner kick.
17-year-old Rose Reilly, Scotland's star winger, put her side 2 up.
Glé sassing a game 3 gaga, ach vai fullashach gan a rutik and sorich me yen Rose Reilly. A nuyen tru, choshing a skill, a mian sin jirishach gaiche, a vichomas a burinyi, sedavachas na chachkes dievroye. Shell and skialach in the gaiche.
Would you ever consider going professional? Because there are professional lady footballers in Italy.
I'm thinking about it at the moment, actually. because there's nothing really up in Scotland as it's not recognised by the SFA, so I'm really seriously thinking about it.
Charwai ffyrstyd yn ni anog bal cosio chwychian yn olabus na siesgytyn sna siachgytyn. Fa crap yn stari agos bech yn lefddiach na nŵdyrys yn bal cosio y cielwch ywch yn dros 3 am fat y diwedd.
I felt like a suffragette because I was adamant. Why should girls not be allowed to play the game that they have come to love?
We've got the SFA secretary, Willie Allen, quoted in the newspaper as saying, we just don't approve of ladies' football.
I mean, all the time that I played in Scotland, it was really tough. There was a real lack of investment.
If you want something in life, it doesn't matter what it is, in any walk of life, just go for it. Never ever let anybody say no to you.
How dare people say you can't play football because you're a lassie? That really sticks in my throat.
Farn bron y hwyd is yn really cwmig y yw agos nio haichgel lent na mianyn yn chesyn pladachge y dlw chlo y chwychida yn bal cosio bwrn an y driach yn greil yn la.
And one of the fascinating things is, whilst the press is generally, well, it's not antagonistic, what it does like to do is to reinforce the idea that these young women are still quite feminine, they still know their gender roles, they all have jobs, and they're certainly all heterosexual.
I'd have done anything to play at football. A ladies' team arrived in the horizon, and that's where I met Elsie Cook, Elsie Bennett, she was then.
And the first time I saw Rose Reilly, and this wee boy come up and approached me and looked, he was about 3 foot nothing, looked up at me.
And I said, hi Mrs, could I get a game for your team?
I says, son, it's a lassie's team, you can't get a game. And through my head I'm going, what the what's this all about? And again, looked up at me, Mrs, I want a game. I says, it's a lassie's team.
I'm a lassie.
And I'm going, oh my God, what have we got here?
So then I was mixed up. I didn't know if I was a girl or a boy. I had to be a boy to play with the boys' team. I thought that's fine, I'm a girl, but to play with the girls' team. But I also thought I was a wee boy, so I couldn't play with the girls' team. At that age, I was a wee bit mixed up, let's say.
Chai skipper Elsie Stuart and Thistle is jeachig le maad Betty Bennett and the shiskets a hoon. En na de chairi ar y game ach y doi, gysedeg y hwgal son immert sŵrse son achlis. Y hwylig y chwychyd a talent y Susan Ferries, be skipper gyniawlus y fawn. Ach y ganyan sin, fynig at siach gyhwn, y cwrydd fawn siach blian y jehedfachus, fan at y chailiad yn iem.
Because of the dark, we see the beauty in the spark.
At se va bwrnig leid Elsie y gwybod gycrwyg ys Corman bal cosio chrwch ys yn Rose Reilly, fy gael ffyr y ra gyn ro ffydd y coint y liadach y gem na ban mar chwnart gaisen.
It comes from a place where men feel threatened, particularly in their traditional areas of influence. So the world of work was changing, the traditional men's work was changing, women were going out to work more. There were changes in demands that women were making about equality and equaling of power in relationships. And there's a school of thought that says, as that happens, men find areas that they can hold on to, and sport is one of those.
To me,
I was born and bred in Stuart in Ayrshire. I'm one of 8 kids, 3 brothers who are older than me, an older sister, and then we're 2 sets of twins. My twin sister Mary, and after 5 years, other 2 girls, Bridget and Anne, arrived in the scene.
Well, I'm just like my mother. We both love to run, chase impossible things, oh, unreachable dreams.
I would call her the Maggie Thatcher of mothers. But she taught me a lot of things, my mum, like being non-judgmental. She always said, don't judge anybody because you don't know what they're going through. And she was a very honest person. Maybe calling a spade a shovel, and I think I've got that trait off her. Earliest memories is they couldn't cope with me. At a very early age, I wandered off about I don't know, about 400 yards away from home, but round two corners, and she found me at the football pitch, the local football pitch.
She would wander around there to play football with the boys. My mum would chase the older brothers around to bring her back. So they weren't keen for her to be playing with boys at football. I suppose just because it wasn't the done thing. But it never stopped her. She just went back all the time. It was just football, non-stop.
So I think my mum was desperate from then on.
Although my mother was strong-willed, I'm sure she conformed. You know, the one thing about Rose within the family, you know, we all had jobs to do, there was all the regulations and rules, but Rose just, if there was rules there to be followed, Rose broke all the rules. So she was a square peg in a round hole, I would say.
I wasn't interested in girl things. I wasn't interested in dressing the same as my twin. When we were smaller, my mum used to leave her clothes at the bottom of the bed, and I'd wait till my poor twin Mary was dressed, and then I'd put something else on. Just a wee rebel at an early age.
Probably as toddlers, we've got some photographs of us playing in the garden. Rose was always on a bike or playing with a ball.
One year I got a doll at Christmas and I was absolutely devastated because I wanted a football, but wasn't long on swapping it for a ball, and actually slept with the ball every night for two reasons. One, because I was in love with it. Two, I was afraid my mum would take it off me.
Chapan le skippe vornig Stuart in a hásig triach bal kosche Rose geta, ach le skippe valach. Machal gan het Haalandachje, gai jare klichigaib, ach leun groenand.
Well, up until then, obviously, we were just playing out in the streets, obviously playing at the football park as well. And the local boys' manager, coach, whatever you call it, in the days a coach for me was a bus, but coach, asked me if I'd play with the boys' team that he was the manager of. And of course I said yes right away. He said, you'll need to get your hair cut. I said, no problem. And went to the local barbers. Short back and sides, which my mother nearly killed me, and the barber, by the way. She went straight down to him, and I think he was afraid of her. And they changed my name to Ross, not Rose.
I ganjens geroiche ook, glich Rose 4 van, as on skippe valach Stuarton.
She played to her strengths in the boys' team and blew everybody away.
Get the vai carte de Rose via glich aan de skippe valach, bij kutjach gegerig gliche as on Stuarton Thistle. Davliana as Joe ye bring the Elsie by Chishalas on a Horam.
She told me to come back in 2 years and ticked it off all the time in a wee book, a wee diary thing, and I ticked it off to the very day of the 2 years in half a second.
She turned up with boots under her arm.
Right, missus, I'm ready to play.
And I was back to Elsie, and then I started playing with the ladies.
If I'd known then where that wee lassie was going to take my life and her life, I'd have been blown away by it.
I ganjens nach roiach nui blian a goose, glich Rose a heat gemachjes on Stuarton Thistle and a shisket a coig, a gliche de toof bornig va gemana shinje. Gaat a goed drugs en bieren, ach can checkov, shisuich sonrichtje van.
We were playing the Johnson Red Rockets. Our passes were exceptional. Our reading of the game was exceptional, our timing was exceptional, but our speed and our control with the ball, absolutely incredible.
It was great. It was great. I remember, I think it was a penalty I had to take, but it was this great big heavy leather ball with a lace on it, and the part was really muddy, and the ball hardly moved, it just kind of dribbled a bit. And I was absolutely devastated. So from then on, I practiced with a heavy ball in the muck straight after the game, but everything went fine after that. It's the first time I'd seen a well-grown woman with a bra on. This seems daft, you know, but, you know, in the days you wouldn't see your mum, basically, I don't mean undressed, but, you know, in her underwear or anything. And here was me, this wee lassie, seeing these, I thought they were all mothers because they had bras. That's how small I was, how naive I was.
Chai Rose vo nerst generst ag Stuarton Thistle. A steward o chwmyn balcosian yn ban y fydd y streach ag an y sasing an y sisgyd sy'n nwy, chai stewartan agos prima donnas o borein, ysdiach gan y lig mae'r ffars gan yn yer yn y tŵr, y clwychig y cynnyfylach mae'r ffars dy chwmyn an sy'r o da hiad club. Ran ag stewartan y hiad chwrs gyrnach dy chwchba yn FA, chwchba maiter, y clwychig Southampton ag Crystal Palace an y siachgyd sy hyn. Chael Thistle Keith Gahun ach rhaid y groch ys Southampton yn aflan y ddiysg. Agos y steward y chwmyn balcosian yn ban alabanach y fydd y streichig, fynig at y hiad chwchban halaba yn oen y prima donnas. Sac yn nhw'n awm y togel yn sgia charanish. Fa talent rose gyma ffwlasiach, ach mae'r fa driach balcosia dal yn ffewys, fa i cwmysach cwtioch mae'r lwch lesich agos ac i siog fa rwy'n dwlichach Lwch lesach nio balcosia. Chwyddig yn rwy'n eich gyd chwrs is on clw is glod.
Probably around about the age of 8, 9 that she started to train regularly. I think it might have been Beath Harriers was her first club. And she trained a lot. Anything like that she was into, she really put her whole life and soul into it.
I was quite an all-rounder.
Va talent lwch lesach rose y fros na chwyle coach inadal a sirach gar.
Kenny Phillips and his neighbour Willie Murphy, who sadly passed away, took me under their wing, and Kenny coached me very well as an athlete.
She was outstanding. Her age group, she would win 100 yards, 200, all the running events.
Kenny always put me in for the boys' races. It was cross-country, which I usually won.
She always had a short haircut and they didn't know. We just treated her equally with the boys, and she was better than most of the boys. That was it.
I was in the shortlist for the Commonwealth Games that were being held in Scotland. I was chosen late for the pentathlon. I remember going to the junior championships up at Scotstoun.
And all these girls with their tracksuits on and all the rest of it, she was competing against them. And then they were all kind of smiling and laughing at her. Because she had nothing at all, really. Just a pair of sand shoes on.
Always my black sand shoes, and my dad had made rubber bands from the inside of his moped, the inside of the tyre, so my shoes wouldn't fall off. I remember a girl saying to me, "What weight do you practice with a shot put?" And I says, "I've only got a rock. I don't have a weight, I don't have a shot put." Kenny had got a rock, and so when I went to do the shot put, it just flew out my hands because I think the rock was slightly heavier.
The shot was so much lighter than the boulder she had practiced with. She went in, no bother. You know, me things like that, it's outstanding.
As Joey coma sy gerafig, chai fiach y gyhorsi y golco camp y treni, far yn rachig tug I gianw.
I took up to St Andrews University for a week's training session. Then, obviously, my mum and dad were delighted they were getting me away for football and into athletics career. And I always remember they bought me my first track suit. It was navy blue with a wee zip there, and I thought I died and went to heaven. Me with a right trackie on, and they bought me a pair of spikes about 3 sizes too big because I had to grow into them. I think that's why I won. The spikes arrived before I did at the finishing line. The first training session was 400 metres. I was quite a strong athlete and fast at the same time, so that was good for me. So this particular girl, she said to me, "You just go." The coach said, "You just go slow at the start at the 400 metres. We forgot to tell you that." So I did, but they were off-ski. But then I changed gear and went flying by them, so then I accept it.
As Joey chwrsa chai evolig the rose balcosha y ligalas, the huwnsker o fe yn y sliasagyn y fasr of or.
I come back home, told my mum and dad this athletics experience and whatever, there was a future, they told me, blah, blah, blah. And for a week I didn't play at football, and then after a week I decided no athletics career, I was going to be a footballer. But there was nothing on the horizon, absolutely nothing, and my mother nearly killed me once again. It's a wonder I'm still alive.
Len Rose y cria agos hwy balcosha, ac yn anolab y tras yn y siachgytyn chan roi gêm I ddaniach y gyhoffigel. Gydgera fad y hyrymysg, cêm ych ei gael yn tosiach an y ffigit y hwn. Gan y bwrnich I fa saas sy gêm fa crap yn stari, dŵlonen, G taich gysinifus na nwy gachlai yn bear.
So we were right up against it for the very beginning. So we weren't allowed to use SFA pitches or SFA referees or officials or anything to do a professional club.
Fa'n SFA ydd bech gygal na chrobal cosio ffrigarach ys yn bwrnich. Agus fa dy crytsin gyn roi'n gêm cwnordach ys yn y bwygen.
Now their line is that, first of all, it's dangerous for women to be playing football. It could damage their ability to have children. It could ruin their ability to keep working. I mean, it wasn't long before this that it was thought that women were born with only a finite amount of energy. And if they used it either in their brains or through too much physical activity, they wouldn't have enough energy to give birth to children. The Scottish Football Association didn't immediately issue a ban. In fact, they didn't issue a formal ban until 1947, but they did definitely uphold the spirit of the ban, and our way of knowing this is one that there are fewer matches played, but also there are several records of letters being sent by the Scottish Football Association to clubs to remind them that they should not be letting women's teams use their facilities.
So we struggled for players, we struggled for opponents, we struggled for referees, match officials, we struggled financially, and we couldn't use the parks in the changing rooms.
And we had to change in the groundsman's hut. So we were changing in amongst all these industrial lawnmowers.
You always went home manky, there were no showers or whatever. We played in ash pitches, usually up in Glasgow, and you'd be bleeding for the ash and whatever. You just spit in your wound.
Ha eundach gyn diach ac I gêm ys syddefach gan nolaba ac yn amser. Y tŵgal ceist yn ancient rose, gyson y fa yryd na wy.
I think as Scots, we are a wee bit afraid of the unknown. So how do we cope with it? We'll just ban it. We'll kid on it's not there. Instead of dealing with it and trying to better the person or yourselves or whatever.
In nearly every other country in Europe, women's football is being encouraged to the hilt. A FIFA conference, in fact, was called about a year ago on it.
In Monte Carlo in 1972, FIFA held a meeting on women's football, and out of 33 countries, Scotland were the only ones to veto it. Nil. Nothing for us in Scotland.
At the time, it was anything to stop us from having a voice. You know, they just didn't want it involved at all. To be honest, Scotland, I mean, they weren't interested in females playing football. To me, my idea then was it was a bit of a joke.
We'd go to the Catholic school, it was situated in Kilmarnock, which is about 5.5 miles from Stewarton. So myself and Mary, my twin, we were 4.5, and my mum took us in the bus to Kilmarnock. The bus station was about 1.5 miles, 2 miles from the bus station to school. So she showed us where it was the first day, and then for the day after, that was us on our own. And we would go out about 8:30 in the morning and back at 5 at night.
She was always the independent one preschool and never bothered with me, but when we did go to start school, we were put into the same class.
We weren't allowed into the boys' playground and vice versa. They weren't allowed into ours. But as soon as a football match started off, I made a beeline for there. And the first day when I come back, it was physical punishment nowadays. I got the belt on my hands to say that there was no way I should be back in that playground because it was a boys'. But every day I went.
And I remember she wore a kilt to school. And I think the reason she did that was because she had the shorts on underneath, threw it off the kilt, ran up and played with them. So nobody realised it was a girl up there, the shorts and the short hair. And then the kilt went back on when she was in the line to go back in after lunch.
And I knew what was going to happen when I come back out.
She got the belt every single day. She got the belt, but it didn't deter her.
But hey, I didn't care as long as I got my game of football.
Sheer determination and passion for the game, which I can't understand, you know.
Chan e fain gyn ro Rose mochel gan y llefdde y faig na bwyd yn realis na mian yn y nwy gêm, rwyd y fa ffolwsioch cwtioch sy'n sgol, cha fo y fa parent yn y faich gyn corman yn lwy bal cosio ag ysfolad hi y hechnag.
Football wasn't a great topic in the house, because of our attitude to school and not applying herself, and everybody saying to her, you'll never get anywhere with it. So it was a thorny subject, really.
She knew what she wanted in life, and her dream was to play football. And that dream has been rare since she was 3-year-old.
Charo náartsgol mór an nasáras an Rose, agus me yedig chaya casc, y hiúns nach bwryngi sgwr chwyche bal cosio gem yn balach. Y cosiach gehoped an y factor I vrach dŵlar an y Kilavarnic, hosich Rose y brwydar ma hwyl lille, sŵl y va dyricsionach yn bech cwch.
I hated the job, first of all, nothing to do with the owners or whatever, just hated factories, anything were shut in. Anyone that was in football, I hated. So when I used to walk up to the factory in 1.5 mile walk in the morning, I was already dreaming of going abroad and being a professional footballer. That's all I thought about it, and I didn't even notice if it was raining or whatever. Once I got to the factory, I had already been somewhere in my professional career in my head.
Vig Rose y clwyche cola the skip a factor in fera gam geniad an a path coward fashga live. As soon la, who the tedextion nach burin ye yuld. Colloch the amalan illen a bear, vig ptheish the fagus an a cogany.
The game was finished and there was another 2 teams lining up to go in, which there wasn't usually. And it was the other local factory, but it was a wee bit away from us. It was the Johnny Walker, the whiskey factory. And they said, oh, Rose, will you play with us today? One of the guys knew me. And I said, aye, of course. I just never went back to my work and played with Johnny Walkers. So anyway, I got my books from the factory. And my mum went mental once again. And she said, well, what did you think you were doing? I says, I got a game for Johnny Walkers, Mum. As if I was playing with Real Madrid or something. And that was it.
Maar er Rose is 3 junsi 3 gan een bal kosje, gunt je nes FA met jedig half game en ban aanjachig. Gapan le John jemer ra, agus gapavoen van kriese graag.
There were 2 elements that came together externally to force the hand of the SFA. There was no internal change of mind. So the 2 elements, one came from UEFA, who had tried to persuade Scotland to change its mind and had given up on that course and had gone instead for saying that either they would be fined and or there may have been an impact on the men's team within the championships and the work that was happening in UEFA. So that was one element that started to change the mind of the SFA. So in 1974, we've got the Equal Opportunities Bill going through Parliament, and there's work by a local Scottish Fife MP, Willie Hamilton, to make sure that sports is covered within the law, and it will mean that what the SFA are doing will become illegal the following year. And I think they just saw the writing on the wall and decided to make a change before they were forced into doing so.
Bek an vlienich in Dranishin chai tedeksche meerveljach a chud machanje Rose. Aatje an de koersen Jirenach kuchbene krinje an de Mexico schachket ze hun. Siege Shara Ville Shelles on Rose, Igaki na stai an de bullach geruitel hedevige.
I'm gonna sail right out on the Atlantic.
Rose, Sophia MacDonald, the right back, and myself were chosen to go to Mexico to take part in this Women's World Cup under an all-Britain team.
Elsie says, somebody wants to talk to you to the phone in my mum's house. And it was this person that was running a Great Britain team for the World Cup in Mexico and had decided that I was going to be the main player. So I just said yes.
So that was us. We thought, this is amazing. We're going to a World Cup in the Aztec Stadium.
So I said yes then, and just give me a game, whether it's in Mexico or Barhead.
Charo chulitin an a Stewarton in Belglach gig mar of Rose is Elsie.
Rose and I were given an ultimatum. If you take part in this World Cup, there'll be no team left when you come back. So we didn't go. We didn't go.
I was devastated then. I was crying all the time out of frustration. But I never really spoke to anybody about it. I kind of shut myself away and just be determined to make a career out of it, out of football, even though I hadn't a clue how I was going to go about it.
An a seach go sa trí glúis Rose agus Elsie go West Horn United an na Glasgow, agus Lennon go stadafachas le tícht líg na Halappe, cúchpa na Halappe, agus cúchpa líg na Halappe. Ba nád a bheits mú hair like Rose in ist an dáchúte an club agus Halappe. Clichit af cúachach ac an ro clú fatas farsing.
The games that I played against Rose were really challenging because she was really powerful, she was a really skillful player, and she was really fast. And I was also really fast because I also did the athletics bit as well. So we had some really tough battles for me with Rose in particular, and always dreaded on a Sunday morning when I was getting ready for the game and I'd start to think about the game and I was cleaning my boots and stuff like that, and I'd think, oh my God, I've got Rose today.
The pace, the strength, and, you know, where could beat people and shoot, and, yep, she brought a lot to the team. The determination. If you've not got the determination to do well, you're just not going to get there.
In is seach blondia gagúis agus cínteach go roid dal dhéana beil an ball cosise, va Rose J. Ellison glósat an úl hadis. Conla di Carriage va Westhorn, Edna Nellis, agus le taich Elsie Cook agus Pepper Neach Ginnedal, chud at plan di chéle is an fang rang.
Rose read an article about a girl called Anna Bryan who'd signed for our team in France called Reims, so we knew there was progress being made in these countries.
I said, look, Edna, let's just go abroad. She says, oh, well, whatever you want, Big Yin, that's what she used to call me.
So Rose and Edna were both decided that was the place for them. So I got all their newspaper cuttings and their photographs and put a portfolio together. And Rose had heard of this guy, Stan Shivers, from the Daily Record. So they went, the pair of them went away traipsing up to the Daily Record offices to speak to Stan Shivers was the man.
So got in touch with us and said, look, I've got you a trial with Stade de Reims, but we were that cocky, me and it, well, it was Edna more than me. She said, we don't do trials. We're just going to turn up and take the place by storm. The Daily Record sponsored us and flew us out to Reims. There was a game specially arranged for us, and they signed us on at half-time. They didn't even wait till the game finished. So I goes back home, tells my mum and dad, that's me, I'm off. I've got a football career in France. I think they were happy in two ways. One, I'm sure getting rid of me, and the nightmare I must have been for my mum and dad.
I think there was probably an element of relief for my parents and maybe the family to think she finally has gone to do something that she wants to do. But at that point, no guarantees that it would continue, you know.
I've got a right, don't be wrong.
And I think they'd be proud, obviously. They wouldn't tell you anything. They never said anything. So we were getting prepared to leave for Paris.
So we were at the airport to wave our cheerio. And Mum, it must have been traumatic for her mum and dad.
I did think when she left, she wouldn't be back because this is her dream and this is what she wanted to do. And again, in those days, you didn't talk about the thing. Nowadays, people would ask how you feel, you know, will you miss your twin, or what do you think about it? Nobody asked, you just got on with life and that was it.
I didn't have a suitcase or anything, but my dad had this kind of wee cardboard suitcase with wee clips on it. No, I had a lot of stuff anyway. But with the belongings that I had, we goes to Glasgow Airport to leave for Paris, and my suitcase broke.
Chabi Rose and noon Jason Chewlach Reilly ifa einlichach gata, and a pippin a sula va paid in a had at ein kinjach gefeige go Reims.
My dad got his braces off and his wee leather belt and sorted out the suitcase for me leaving.
But that was her, she was there.
I was just going to play football. I went to the moon. If they played football there, I'd have went.
Charoch a fat a sinnig Rose di golketaan. Be Milan yn astat a feichge, glwysyd y gosgol yn sŵl Sueski. Tras y naw meicheg Reims va AC Milan y sŵl chwmylydd Rose ys Edna, agos va dyn ysg tonsach ych be ŵr, mae'r chlychyd yn bal cosio professionnta y clych ag y San Siro.
So, off we went to AC Milan.
Rose, quando lei è arrivata in Italia, mi pare nel 73 se non sbaglio, che è andata a giocare nel Milan, È arrivata lei insieme alla sua compagna di allora, Edna, e quando sono arrivate abbiamo conosciute bene, perché erano bravissime.
I didn't realise how much I was going to miss my family. Obviously, my mum and dad and Primus. No, I hadn't a clue that the emotion had taken over about me going for this football career. It must have been hellish for them. Now that I've got a child, yeah, it must have been hard for them. Plus the fact there was no communication.
Very little contact. They did miss her and worried about her, and I did too, but there was no point in dwelling on it. You had to keep going.
Anyway, I ends up in Milan and my mum and dad didn't know. In the days, the communication was airmail, the wee blue envelopes that you could see through. I think everybody read them before they even got there. Just to say, by the way, I'm in Milan now. I'm not in France.
Ha opa ddŵr am y dŵich choiach le canan i'r ialaich dwlich is on diag ydys yn bi. Fyg Rose y brin di hen sy sgan an y fetalchis sy fiach yn y sychan yn iwnsachig agos gael di be an y Milan. Char oe ffyrus di ief arach yn y hil y carriage Edna ad asio Glasgow sy'n cianol y sora. Ach mar y fa ddi y ffyr hwyd Rose sli y troia.
Never been in a restaurant in my life. And didn't know what to eat, but here I was getting served big steaks and God knows what, and getting pampered by. And I started to learn the lingo. Of course, I knew all the swear words before that because all my teammates were teaching me the bad words.
Ho imparato a sognare che non ero bambino.
Dragalken ro Rose y giwndrin y chewlich, fe carich y Milan turis iacha Spek y gŵl y feg I maad leis yn leti yn och gyda'n starsachach gan y Stuarton.
Didn't tell them I was coming home. And I'd went to a boutique in Milan and I was getting a wee bit sophisticated, so I thought then I'd bought a trench coat. Never had a trench coat in my life. It was beige, it was like a Burberry thing. Boots with heels on them, nice tailored trousers and blouse, and a wee scarf. Never had a wee scarf, not unless it was a Celtic one in my life. Handbag, who'd a handbag? None to bit of them, my Fitbit bits. All these kind of things, a wee bit of makeup. And I'd learned all these things in Milan and embraced it. I loved the whole thing about Italy. I just embraced their way of life. So flies home. I think I got a bus or a train home to Stuarton. Walked home where I'd just be keeping my ball up, going for the newspaper for my dad. Retraced my steps, and I thought, this is me coming. I don't think my mum recognised me when I came in the door because I'd left as a wee girl with a snotty nose, let's say, and this sophisticated young lady was come back from Milan with her trench coat and a nice haircut, no short back and sides. I was in the salons of Milan, no the local barbers, and it was a great feeling to see my family again, and my mother was proud. Yep.
Ach va hoa dyn an idvirin na the hilig an anti-spatcha like as an yetalch.
Usually around Christmas time, we'd usually be waiting at the airport. She'd be coming off the flight from Italy, and me and my brothers were always really excited because she would usually have football strips for us from Italy, which I would have been 5 at the time, brothers a couple of years older, so for us it was always really exciting to just have this aunt who was a footballer.
But to me she was Italian. She came back as an Italian, that's what I would say, because she looked like an Italian, she spoke like an Italian.
Io sono venuta in Italia comunque perché appunto l'Italia era più avanti della Francia, c'era molto più organizzazione, c'era un campionato, c'erano già delle straniere che venivano così. No?
Nei minuti che restano
per sempre.
So Valentina, this is the majestic San Siro. I came here to play and I was only 17 years of age, so much younger than you are just now. I came from the red blaze pitches of Scotland to the San Siro. It doesn't get any better than that. I was only 17, that's 2 years younger than you, madam. So imagine that, come over here, didn't know the lingo, but I knew the language of football, which was the main thing.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. And the stadium, it wasn't always full, obviously. We didn't have packed crowds when we were playing the women's game, but I played once here in front of 80,000 spectators, so the place was absolutely mobbed. It was a charity match against like the pop stars and whatever, film stars, Italian. That was such an experience.
A bit scary.
But what? Not scary, no. You just follow your heart, just follow your passion.
How did you
Well, to tell you the truth, Valentina, it wasn't scary because I was on a mission. I was on a mission to play the best football that I could in the best country where they allowed me to play professional football.
Ha siawn charachin ag AC Milan y ganyachu gefars chutrymach ag Rose yn skipper heddafach alachge. Si y chwyd yn hyl ag lein sichtelgaif sy chiad heisan ag yn Rosaneri. Ulle gilead chosnigi och chichtelen gan y sia clubichin gada chwichis yn edalch.
Cin cin.
Salute. Salute. Secondo me il presidente dei sommelier italiani ci butta fuori.
Sei sempre stata il mio punto di riferimento finché ho giocato al Milan. E sono contenta di aver fatto chilometri su quella fascia lì per darti i palloni per poter vincere lo scudetto e le Coppe Italia.
Grazie. Anna?
Io come terzino, già come sai, naturalmente ho preferito averti come compagna di squadra che come avversaria, perché sicuramente mi avresti fatto scoppiare e comunque sono contenta di averti avuto sia come compagna di squadra che nello spogliatoio, perché sei sempre stato un esempio.
Io sono d'accordo con lei, perché essendo terzino anch'io, meglio averti come compagna di squadra, anche se sei sulla mia fascia. Si andava, si faceva, eri per me una persona perfetta, cioè niente da dire.
Senza offendere nessuno, la numero uno.
Sì, very strong in campo e nello spogliatoio.
The difference, there was no difference, it was a complete other world. It was massive. In Italy, the women's football called Calcio Femminile was very professional in the days. There were about 40 foreigners playing in the league. In the days, it wasn't recognised by FIFA and UEFA as in such, but this was global, it was world women's football. Every country had their federation or association, whatever you want to call it, and their own private money, sponsors.
Perché era un po' una novità e molta gente veniva per quello, poi dopo noi cercavamo di sponsorizzarlo al meglio possibile. Tanto è che è vero che abbiamo organizzato anche delle partite a San Siro.
We were on the front page of La Gazzetta dello Sport and the telly was there at the time, so there was absolutely no comparison. I didn't have to buy my own boots. I didn't need a paper round. I wasn't jumping over obstacles anymore or get put down by everybody. I was living my dream. I was one of the outstanding players for the Italians, for AC Milan, wherever I went.
Era stupenda, un'immensa classe e poi era un'atleta superlativa. Era fortissima, fortissima. In Italia si può dire che era number one in quel periodo, come stranieri.
Every team that I've played for, ever since coming to Italy, I've always been the captain. I don't know, perhaps they see that I'm quite serious, not just on field, but also off field. They must have seen something in me that decided picked me as a captain.
Ma un capitano, diciamo, era un vero leader, molto umile, però riusciva, diciamo, a trasmettere proprio quella, come posso dire, non era per niente così invadente, però quando c'era da parlare dovevamo stare anche, diciamo, un po' zitte e pensare a giocare così. No.
I had a natural talent, obviously, but I worked very hard. For example, sometimes we would train in the evenings because of the heat, and I would train on my own in midday to get used with the heat and to better myself.
Ma è brutto il Juventino, non possono parlare. La Roma se l'ha venduta la partita, la Juventus non l'ha comprata.
Ah, già fate vedere tutti quanti.
Football in Italy in general is like a religion. Wherever you go, you just get into a bar for your espresso, your macchiato, your wee coffee and whatever, and you just stand beside anybody and they'll say, oh, did you see that result last night? And blah, 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 blah. And everybody's just talking about football and they're so passionate. I thought they were fighting all the time. No, the ref said this. They were just passionate about it. So I thought, this is brilliant. So they embraced us because we could play football. We were good. Otherwise, they would never have turned up for the games. Maybe at the start they turn up. You know, the guys want to kind of put you down because it's their game kind of thing. Or they come to see your legs or something, or girls in shorts. That's just a joke thing.
Ashen Olappe scaun gyro yrtas yn bydd tîn eith gem na ban fy hwyd e anya offagel. Calag yidach yn yn doio brach yrtach y fasiniad alch.
Night and day, let's say. A very small-minded attitude.
I ganyan iafai mar yw'ich tradisiynta fa bawl cosyn y ban iddi yw'ch yr y doi syniad alch, le sanasach agos taichgedagat farna path i cwtioch.
Era un periodo dove il calcio femminile era una novità, per cui essendo una novità la gente veniva a vederla.
Forse perché, diciamo, quel periodo, gli anni, parlo fine anni 70, 80, il calcio femminile era veramente un po' una mosca bianca, no? Allora c'era interesse e coincide, secondo me, quel periodo con la crescita veramente di giocatrici.
I think that we play well. We play well. The players were skillful, and at that time there were no Italian federation. Was Italian Women Federation, and of course they wanted to grow the women football, and they tried to do everything. I think that was that in Italy everybody love football.
Penso che tecnicamente siamo abbastanza validi, piuttosto sul lato fisico che, insomma, con il confronto con gli uomini, per esempio, tecnicamente forse siamo anche superiori a loro, ma sul lato fisico ancora no.
I haven't got a clear picture of why Italian football went differently. Football's as important to the Italian culture as it is here, but whether there was just somebody spotted a value in playing, and the fact that it would attract crowds because it was good football, and therefore there was some investment into it.
Ai miei anni era una federazione autonoma. Non eravamo con quella di adesso, Federazione Italiana Gioco Calcio, era autonoma e quindi io non so poi lì da dove arrivassero i soldi, però loro investivano molto sulla pubblicità, sulla comunicazione. Noi avevamo sempre la RAI e i giornalisti di allora che seguivano il maschile seguivano anche noi.
The team it goes ahead by very big sponsorship. We've got a good sponsor, which gives, I think, about 3/4 of the money that's needed to travel all over Italy. It's so big and there's so many wages getting paid to the players, obviously, and also the flats that the girls need to stay in.
Hannig uweils gedankes en er hub Jockstein kudig de skippe hoogtje alappe, kluche ag parked door jem jorpach of a seltje kluche. Gar a rose a kluche sig jemschen, wanneer wij haul hadische genaam. Ach sna laaien en noorde wij kluches on skippe Valach Stuarten, was skielach gele aan, voor een danetjiko ad de Celtic. Gette we blisig tuul ille fevere.
At the time, no, I was playing for the local boys club in Stuarton with my short back and sides, so I just looked like a wee guy, a wee boy, and they called me Ross instead of Rose. In one particular game, I'd scored 8 goals, and there was a Celtic scout there looking for youngsters in S forms, that it was called in the days. And at the end of the game, they asked the manager if they could sign the wee boy, the wee number 7. And he says, no, that's a wee lass. The Celtic scout says, no, the one that scored all the 8 goals. He says, that's a wee girl. So I got speaking to him and was absolutely gutted I couldn't play for Celtic. Well, at that age, I just realised if I was good enough and I could play for Celtic, why not?
Chatach sin Rose Yekata, agus drinne Isli a hen go Parkhead. Get the game agus sin a chumalach hen.
Back in the day, it was like mid-60s. I was just a kid, about 12 years old, and I got a bus from my wee town in Stewarton to Glasgow. I came on my own because if I told anybody, I wouldn't have been allowed to come here at this early age. And I didn't know where I was going, so I got off the bus and just followed the guys that had on their green and white scarves and ended up at Parkhead. I was just a small girl at the time, and they pushed me. They kind of pushed me down to the wall at the end of the jungle, and then Jimmy Johnson arrived on the scene. I could actually nearly touch him.
Ash fo turas a Glasgow chud a had I yiri a febeth fisker a son scorig in Balcosha. Gunnar gun rafisa chena id mar a chaita Celtic.
So I would get my ball and keep it up all the way down the village into the paper shop to get this paper. And as soon as I went in the shop, the ball hadn't to hit the ground or whatever. And the lady always said, you get to hell out here, Rose Reilly. Everybody was fed up with me with this ball, and I'd keep it away back up in the evening times under my arm to give my daddy's football paper.
As Stewie game ag skippen a Hallabag Parkhead, who geld see of anish just kill a skippen nashente ganyetalchat, a son da yam and no in Azure. Van a clicket at the nid viren, agus at them belglach a beacon, levy kunyach than chow harichin.
To see them, you felt a bit. I felt a bit starstruck. That oh my God, there's Rose and Edna, and the people that even then back home, you know, in some of the newspapers, you were starting to read little things about Rose and Edna and what they were doing.
Chail alabe hiet game, agus chain dara game a chluche ag in San Siro. Van fershin na bashke. Ach vaden en ban italchach id a glachgu le echu na halape. Na misk brikishin gudage if it for Rangers, vonachro edeketach geheen is een filmje chanach.
E tornando di quella partita, Mauro, tu ti ricordi che voi eravate tutte precise con le divise? Noi avevamo i pantaloncini enormi, dato impresso di una squadra maschile scozzese. Non ti ricordi di quella, no? Io sì.
Ero talmente emozionata che non mi ricordo.
Ah, va bene così.
Nel senso che comunque i calzoncini nostri erano i classici, no?
Certo.
Gydych as June in Gemachan Sinithalch, va 4 groch neach gefe with Rose Reilly, Edna Nellis, agus a manager Elsie Cook. Chai cask bear chadora va via cluchie gan a skip a nashente. Chachach over selja die va horchech at a son a chogany.
I don't know if they banned me because I'd been professional. You know, don't you dare better yourself, hen, or we'll ban you. It was just like being back at school. You'll get expelled if you're playing football. Goodbye. So that was it. I was actually sad for the folk that banned me. I was sad. I thought, why would they? They haven't even spoke to me. They don't know me. Why would you ban why would you ban an athlete, a Scottish athlete, who wants to better herself? I still don't have an answer for it.
And we never get saying anything. But we couldn't have spoken anyway because we were absolutely astounded for that to happen. After all the hard work, couldn't be anything anymore.
I do think it was because they were women, and I think it was about being fairly insular in our thought process. It was about keeping people in their place, and it's almost that sort of working class thing of who the hell do they think they are? Do they think they're better than everyone else almost? And I think that was maybe where Scotland was at that point in terms of where women were in our society.
From that moment then, she was clearly being told that she wasn't valued by the Scottish Women's Football Association in terms of playing for Scotland, and that paved the way for her to look at alternatives of who she might pledge her allegiance to.
Uganins marach ei gael di ag yn tai, va Rose yn isht anichtje mar teg yn y clychit ad yn y bears yn yddolch.
was my first year in Serie A, and she was a model because she was one of the best players that we had in Italy. The first year we play against, and I'm pretty sure that she won.
Rose, diciamo, era già famosa in quel periodo lì. Io ho avuto la fortuna di giocare con lei e per me è stato, diciamo, un sogno che si era realizzato. E mi ricordo che all'epoca, insieme ad altre giocatrici, era considerata una delle più forti giocatrici che sia mai venuta in Italia a giocare.
Cínig cúteach gan de hógaí dá hichtlan an nún sésan, or bheith céteach go siúil gan a rang agus cluichas an rims ag an nún nám sa bheith strí an scudetti eile conla de leche. Y cluiche game do gach skippe gach jirig hechgain chosinni dá hichtl an a dá gúich.
And it was like half boots world travel. I'd fit my bags everywhere with different boots for different teams, and boots always spotless, absolutely everything was all scrubbed. The difference for Edna's boots, my wee mucker, her boots were manky. I was so proud when I went to play for Lecce, right? That's the deep south, so that's the woman in the kitchen just with a thing. And most of them were dressed in black, because if somebody in the family dies, you dress in black, you mourn for the rest of your damn lives. Wee black headscarves, just sitting praying for whoever's passed away for the rest of you. You've no got a life.
Ba can see Lecce an Rose ein bhainúne agus skippe úr hógal chimichalora. Rinni baragan gama cruelish.
I says, I'm not coming, I don't like your pitch, because it was red ash. So he grew a grass van. He says, I've got a grass pitch now. So anyway, I went there, he bought me, just like the professional teams. And all these women who weren't allowed to do anything, it was a wee place called Reilly, it's just outside Lecce. They weren't allowed to go here, there or everywhere. They were filling the stadium. And I was up on a pedestal, I was there hair-around with my wee shorts on and my athletic, outlook, everything. I'll get in the wee village just with my shorts on, my flip-flops and wow. And they kept chanting my name and whatever. All with their wee black headscarves and their black things. So it was a liberation for the ladies. I loved the whole lot of them. I just used to go and give them all a cuddle. They were all making me their homemade breed and whatever it was they were doing then.
I think at the back of her mind, even when she was a young lassie, she wasn't going to kowtow to the men just because she was a woman. She was always for equality. She still is, obviously. It's part and parcel of who you are and your makeup.
She doesn't care what other people think, in the sense that if she wants to do something, she's resilient. She just goes for it, which is kind of what she kind of taught me growing up, you know. If you want something, just do it, you know, no matter what obstacles there are. You know, she just kind of went for it. She's just very strong-minded, I guess.
As Joey Coig blianas in Nedalch, ga je wallig en vlutig roos surenach fetaltje gaan. Route liki le kluchig aan Nedalch. Jul die gaal die mallig en begon die pasig. A chanemige shinnigiano cayu, or goed cansie, Federazione Calcio Femminile, Giovanni Trabucco Taichrie. Le alape het koelige die, waar rozen is je kluchig aan Nedalch, chegen het tuchen en een slaantje de in het huil.
Certo, io te l'ho detto che secondo me se sei andata alla nazionale italiana, lì davanti servivi insieme ad altre ragazze che...
Insieme non ho mai giocato, se non poi in nazionale quando ho fatto qualche partita. Però l'ho sempre conosciuta per una ragazza leale, sportiva, seria. Sì. Cioè di noi, di quelle straniere lì, allora abbiamo proprio imparato e avuto bisogno. No, secondo me è stato buono perché ci ha dato una mano.
Allora, first of all, she speaks Italian very, very well, and she was in Italy for many years. Nobody complained, also because for us it was better to play, to have in a team a good football player. So it was a good thing for all national team.
I should have been playing for Scotland, my home country. But hey, they didn't want me, so the Italians did. So instead of being Ross, who played with the wee boys in Stuart, and I was now Rosa, who was playing for Italy.
We both were outstanding players, so for all players were easy to play with her, because she used also to be a leader on the pitch, not just a good football player. So everybody follow her. She had the shot was amazing, and her run, her potential, no, her power when she ran was amazing.
Molto brava. Molto brava, perché anche lei come me faceva gol, sai, poi le partite si vincono se si fanno i gol. Comunque era brava anche nel gruppo, positiva. Un'atleta seria.
I think if something really serious happened that I couldn't play football anymore, then it would become quite a serious problem.
It's not a question about football coming first. It's like saying your life comes first. It was my way of life, and in talking about life, something happened to me something dreadful happened to me. Now, I'm a nightmare for dates. Maybe it was 1980. I was playing with Letch at the time.
Bannaig Letche chynnig Rose dys yn dŵl yn y smwy y bea. Hebi y driach sy bea chawl yn y ddigasi uafysach chyn. Fa cwnardam gyffwtig I basach ag, as dio I mwyrach athwych as dio I gem. Mae'r hwyl y dyle Rose, ielig ydys yn tyich ag na 2 jaar y chen.
So I was in isolation anyway. I couldn't have seen anybody. I used to just get the stuff passed through the window, or the doctor would come in with all his spacesuit on, kind of thing. I just slept all the time. I was in drips and whatever.
Fa inisht uafysach isial, agos yw gyndoch da droch neach geligi. Fiws na jicig I troie, fa driach mar chwychyd a balcosio siachad.
He says, but that's your football career over. I said, well, you was well just killing me here then. This was all in my head. But I was so weak, I was very weak. I couldn't go to the toilet. I couldn't stand up. This hepatitis had taken over my body. So then I got other type of medication and whatever, and I'd lost so much weight, my muscles, you name it. I wasn't in a good way. I've got an inner strength to make things go the way I want it to make in my football world and my athletes world. So that was hard. But the main thing is I didn't want anybody to tell me I couldn't play at football again. They'd already told me that when I was a kid, trying to stop me play. So I wasn't going to stop because my body was weak or couldn't cope with it anymore.
Le bea an o'r cwnard cha bwryn dy Rose laicsius yn bia heldyn. Chwm I ora gwrni sy gama sy ffain troia.
No. I wasn't scared. I was matter of fact. There was no mates. No. And I think when I thought, when I could have died, when I was in a right bad state, I think you get to that state you don't care. You're sleeping. You're in a kind of semi-coma, kind of whatever. There's no room for pity or anything like that. Self-pity, obviously, because that's not going to help. That's just going to make you weaker. I had to get stronger. What do? You pray.
Y ffain ymach as yn hospital mae ieddig hawl dda Rose cholac sgran a ddecyn y chaiachgydd cosiach. A chyddi roich be ffain as agos chilig adash. Chwychig I ddiysg I ganyans na fan y dochtadden iddo raddia.
So I said, right, they told me I wasn't going to play football again. So my first aim the next day was to walk to the football pitch, which was about 50 yards from my flat. So I walked there. I was so weak then, I had to sit down, and every day I walked 50 yards more until I got to the football pitch. Then my first aim was to walk to the halfway line. But this time I was building up my health, but I couldn't eat much because the virus had took so much out of me. So then walk 50 yards, different day. Then I said, I'm going to run 50 yards. Then I'm running 100 yards, then until I get back to full strength. Then after that I played for Italy and I won other things.
Da'n crytiof cathlig eich eich gyddiaf cwtrymach as an rose for fain a lenaf achas an over yn idrialigtio?
Well, of course, the whole family went. We went to Sunday Mass. The front pews were just for the Reillys. And I would always have my football shorts, my football strip underneath my dress. And I would just duck under a hedge where I'd made a hole. And I was on our football pitch. And just strip off. My dress was a goal post. And that was me playing all day. Okay, Valentine, I can't actually believe it's 35 years ago that I played the Mondialito, the World Cup in this stadium.
What was it like knowing all those people came to see?
Oh, well, it gives you a buzz, and it meant so much to us, like to win it in Italy for the Italian people.
Yeah.
Then the two teams, which was West Germany, it was called at the time, were lined up with the referee Zadz in the middle. And then the national anthems, first the German, because of course they were the visitors. And then it was a good thing because the national anthem of Italy, it's like Fratelli d'Italia, which means brothers of Italy. So we started singing Sorelle d'Italia, like sisters of Italy, because we were the female team. And why not? We kind of changed the words about, chopped the words about. And then the referee, when he blows the whistle, we have to salute the fans there, salute the fans there, salute the fans there, and salute. That's what you do in appreciating all these fans have come to see us. Then the game starts, and that's when it's all systems go. Mm-hmm. We played really good as a team.
Hai Mondialito femminile, cwchben y crynia, y chluchia anna jazolo y ddechera la fichit gen y lwnastil, och gyda cead. Chag ag stat o'ch ydy nidalch, gysorigtio y van alapana cha Stuarton. Ba coramach gynish, jalawan ein e dwys ysmw i fwle.
As a unit, we were all out for each other. There's no jealousies, there's no anything. I remember winning the ball here, like midfield, coming up to the left, cross the ball over, far post, in comes Carolina Morace. Boom, goal, 1-0. It wasn't getting any better than that.
Her run was amazing, so she used to play on right or left, because for her was the same, left or right foot, and she go there and she cross. It was easy for me to score.
Then at a certain point, Betty Vignotta, she got the ball down here and half cross, but knowing Betty, it was a shot at goal, and the ball hit that crossbar, and I was lurking just a wee bit away from the post and pounced on it. Great coordination, boom, 2-0.
E poi riprende l'orecchio e raddoppia, gol di Reilly con uno spunto preciso dopo il tiro cross della Vignotto. 20° del secondo tempo, Italia 2, Germania 0, ha segnato Reilly.
Then again, for the third goal, I won the ball in midfield, gave it to one of my fellow players, and gave it to Carolina Morace. Carolina in the penalty box gets fouled, penalty.
Esce il portiere, ma l'arbitro comanda il calcio di rigore.
Tanto è vero che le tedesche, tranne la numero 5, ricordo che mi insultò ripetutamente, ma io feci finta di nulla.
In italiano o in tedesco?
In tedesco io feci finta di nulla perché non era giusto inasprire più le sanzioni.
Certo.
Ecco, do il calcio di rigore con una tranquillità enorme.
Certo.
A fine partita mi hanno dato la conferma che la mia decisione è stata perfetta.
Ok, giusto. Up steps Betty Vignotta and just hammers it home. But I was there, I was at the edge of the box in case maybe something happened. Maybe the goalkeeper would have saved her or would hit the post, and I was there to pounce, but I didn't have to because Betty did a magnificent job. So that was the first half, 3-0.
Y ganyan rafag van y vanagers gan rachag y torsies yn dar y le mae fan gem at o lewa char o rose tolig jichyd yn oedd y hachadel ys yn nidal strig yn y hosiach char o'n alwch taich.
No way, I was raging. Anyway, when I was coming off the pitch there, because the benches were there, all the crowd up there started booing the coach because they were serving me. So I thought, oh, well, that's all right, in a selfish way. Then the game had restarted and the fans up there were applauding me, which it was a particular moment. Yeah. Then after, I can't remember how long, 5-10 minutes or whatever, the ref blows the whistle. World Cup winners. Yes! How about that?
Fischio finale allo stadio Picchi di Jesolo. L'Italia ha battuto la Germania per 3-1 e ha conquistato la seconda edizione consecutiva del Mondialito di calcio femminile.
How did it feel? You're kind of walking in the air. That's the only way I can describe it.
Gioia e vero soddisfatto dalla mia direzione, tant'è vero che la mia preoccupazione quando stavo per emettere il triplice fischio era quello di arrivare più vicino possibile al pallone. E di fatto il pallone l'ho preso e ce l'ho a casa.
Rose Reilly, 29 anni, da 11 anni nel campionato italiano, sei entrata in squadra nel momento in cui la squadra aveva bisogno di un rilancio e contemporaneamente è venuto questo grande rilancio fino alla vittoria.
Ma forse è una coincidenza, comunque io sono molto contenta che ho aiutato le mie compagne italiane a vincere questo mondialito.
I was so proud scoring for Italy in a World Cup final, Mondialito Cup final, and but as I've said before, it was a Scottish heart beating under an Italian jersey, so it doesn't get any better than that. Being back in the stadium again, really emotional, and it's double emotional. Apart winning the World Cup, but able to revisit the place of my glory days with my daughter, it's especially, do you say that? Especially special, really special. Obviously, then I never thought that the day would come that I could visit this place with my daughter Valentina. It's a very proud moment for me.
It feels a lot different, like more personal, getting to know just like all the details instead of just watching a video of it. I kind of already knew that, you know, a lot of people loved her, but, you know, hearing it from her like ex-teammates and things like that, it's really nice.
I think we were afraid to lose because we were afraid for the president, Trabucco. He was such a massive persona. I think we were terrified of him. It was just sheer joy. Everybody going mental.
Punteggio finale. Italia batte Germania 3-1. Italia che vince il Mondialito di calcio femminile seconda edizione.
Getach oedd Rose Reilly clachyd mwlwch y chwrniaich gyda fi bynnu cwchbyn y crynia fa tylig dy hun fwybe. I ganyan sgyda heb I basach y, sgynjach y raddi gyro driach siachad, chwm Rose ora dol y ffewys. Ac fachbys ydy'r nasiant sayan an y Sina sy'n nawr och gyda sy cedd, chlychi sorich yma y cwyd jeich tyl an y cwyd gemachan.
That's when I was nominated the world's best female football, and I thought, wow, not bad for a wee lassie for Stuart. I was focused on it, but I worked for it. I worked hard for it. It wasn't joy like when you win games or whatever. It was a warmth within myself, a contentment. I'd done it. Against odds.
Dúnan y snaf yn o'i yn trwch fa tal yn sorich jeg Rose Reilly, y bynig chichtl na Ffrang, och sgwdeti sy'n nedalch, cead cwpyn yn nasianta, y hylig y da fro god, y son y nadaf y smw hawl an y Serie A. Cwyd dy sy'n tyl agos bwy an y cwrs gyr nach cwpyn y crynia, y hylig y ddwrym y chlycyd at boran y seari yn tŵl, agos asyn y brim y yw'n sar chlycyd at bol cosio. Chanir Tchekov nach de chruig Rose gila bal kosha ingantach brosnachal at sy fais yn nedalch. Feddig ac yrys, ach mae ieddig hawl ieug ein twrym iddo roiaddi na dwy chen cwtioch.
Lei viene a mi studio donde io lavorava for un problema che aveva in la gamba. L'impressione è che era molto gradevole e molto bella.
So we got married on Christmas Eve.
La scelta because one special giorno in the world, a special giorno in the world for a special woman in my life.
Him coming from the other side of the world, me still a wee lassie for Stuart, but hey, it was great. The year after that, I fell pregnant, didn't read the rule books, didn't know you shouldn't get pregnant at 45. Everybody was flabbergasted at phone. My mum stood assured. I think that was, she'd been desperate all her life, you know, I had to procreate and all this, Catholic faith, 100 veins instead of 100 goals.
Chwm I o'r clwychau gys y roi daichyd, Mr. Ligi Gyd driach, y ffosglwch bw spors an y trani. Post ynys di Norberto, y faroian ag ochtad ag skipa Argentina, agos yn lich y spors y faich gyda y chynnichad, rwgwg y chiad lenafach ge Valentina sy flian y dafila. Fa tolig jys yn iedalch, gys yn dwyd rose fys gyda mad gyma isiol as dwys droch gygal. Fa i trin iachu roia an y caffaig Mr. Ye Cahad, agos wyd ela dreini y Stuarton y son y fi cola di mahad.
Lay me down gently.
She said, don't leave me, Rose, I'm afraid. And I thought, what's she saying that to me for? Because we'd a love-hate relationship, me and my mum, but that was in the growing-up period, because she was wanting to stop me doing for the thing that I loved. But then you get more mature, you're older and whatever, and then I was back on track with my mum again. And I promised I wasn't going to leave her because they gave her a week to live or whatever. 9 years later, I was still here.
As dwi diog y chyflion eich yn hawl hadys, charwai ffyrstyd the rose chili gadash galapa.
It was hardship because for the first time in my life I didn't have any power over what I wanted to do, get my mother better. But then that was a fact of life. She was old, she was paralysed, and I wasn't going to leave her. No way. I'd made the right decision to be beside my mum in the twilights of her years because she was there for me all my life. So it was payback time. I was an older mother with a wee girl. No money because I'd left everything in Italy. Foreign husband, friggin' nightmare. What else can I put in? Raging menopause. Nightmare. So I had to juggle these things. But hey, there's worse things in life.
Men idd fen, hochgrich Rose, Norberto as Valentina, idd asigalapa. Agus megedig, Jaketon as joy I fi the casc le dwi chen, chai anya agus urum hors gen y dreini sy gem yn alapa. Fa cem le urum va ole tafshir na halapa idhungi sin. Agus chai acha cwtioch hors the Rose an a talo lwych spors na halapa an a davin le sa siach. A hylig I talan and lwych ag balkosha na halapa.
That was a great achievement for women, and Scottish footballers, but Scottish women in general, because I was the first woman to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. I don't think a lot of them agreed with it. A lot of the men. It's a man's world. It was their place, and I've kind of tramped on somebody's toes. I realised that at the time, accepted it. Well, I don't accept it. Just who cares at the time? Still, who cares? If we're good enough, why should we not be in it? But it was a great honour for me. It was a great honour because I was winning everything that I won was in Italy. I wasn't really recognised in Scotland. The only time I remember was to ban me. And then I got recognised. I got recognised first in the Sporting Hall of Fame up in Edinburgh. So when I got inducted in, I got piped in, the bagpipes, oh my God, that was me. I actually couldn't speak, I had a lump in my throat. I was so proud. My World Cup with Italy, wow. But getting bagpiped into a museum in Edinburgh Castle, I was hame then. The thing I think would be difficult for me to teach, maybe not really teach, but for anybody to touch is the passion and love that I've got for football.
Yeah, my mum was very, she's always just been, as my mum, a huge part of my life, obviously. But with everything that she's been through, she just made me who I am, with her beliefs, with her story. She's probably the most influential woman I know. So yeah, she's a big part of my life that I appreciate and love. I feel really proud. It's pretty amazing.
I could just say to other women, as let's say girls, not women, if you want something in life, it doesn't matter what it is, in any walk of life, just go for it.
It would be really empowering to see, oh, you know, she could do it in this era where everything was against her.
I think she realises that these young people can look up to her story and hopefully make them think that they can achieve, whether it's football or something else, like whatever they want to do, and yeah, it's achievable.
She has achieved way beyond any expectations that when she set off that I would have thought that she could have managed.
So now we're in a time where we as women have a lot of support, so it would just, I guess, give them some kind of inspiration and some kind of drive to be like, oh well, if she could do it, then I can do it.
Never ever let anybody say no to you. Well, they can say no, but who cares? Just don't listen. And don't let it get in one ear and out the other. Don't even let it get in that ear. You want to do something in life, you do it, you go for it, but you have to work for it.
This is